Hey everyone, thanks for joining in to the second edition of a two-part series in conversion tracking. I'm Tanaima and I'm joined in by my colleague Nithiba, and we're from the Google AdWords team in India. Last week we learned about conversion tracking in AdWords, and this week we will learn about conversion tracking in Google Analytics through goals and e-commerce conversion tracking. Hey Nithiba, do you want to give us a quick introduction?
Hey Tanaima, hey everyone. I'm really excited to be a part of this Hangout, and I can't stress enough on how important conversion tracking is for you to be able to measure the success of your advertising goals. And through covering slightly complex topics like e-commerce and destination goals, we hope to make this process a lot more simpler for you guys.
Absolutely. Just a quick couple of things before we get started. If you're watching us live from the Google Plus page, then please leave your questions in the Q&A section. And if you're watching us from the AdWords community page, then leave your questions and comments and we will get back to you. So let's get started. The first thing that we want to discuss is goals. Goals is a way to measure your business objective. So every time you think about a conversion, you should think about macro conversions and micro conversions. Macro conversion is the primary business objective that you have, whereas a micro conversion is the relation building activities that lead to a macro conversion. For example, if I'm a sports equipment store, a macro conversion for me would be a sale, whereas if somebody signs up for a newsletter, that would be a micro conversion. And that's because I can actually reach out to the people who signed up for the newsletter and drive a sale. So goals can help you track both macro and micro conversions. And these could be anything like a video play, filling out a form, or staying on the website for more than 4 minutes. Goals are really a good way to measure the value of each visit on your website. And unlike in AdWords, where you can track conversions only on your AdWords ads, through goals you can track conversions of all from all sources and therefore understand what's really working well for you and decide where you should be investing. Nithiba, do you want to tell us a little bit more about goals?
Sure, Tanaima. So now that we know how important goals are, let's learn a little more about them. Now, goals can be configured at the view level in your analytics account. And there are essentially 4 types of goals that we work with usually, and all of them do the same work, which is track conversions on your mobile app or your website. But today we'll be only dealing with goals that track conversions on your website. So the first type of goal that we'll be talking about is goals that track user actions on your website. This goal is known as a destination goal or a URL goal. And a destination goal is essentially a page that users are led to after they have completed a certain activity on your website. So they could be, this could be a thank you page that users are led to after they've completed the sign up process, or this could be a payments receipt page after they've completed the purchase process. So a destination goal triggers a conversion when a user visits that page that you have specified. Now, the second type of goal that we have here is an event tracking goal. An event is any specific activity that a user completes on your website, and this could be a newsletter sign up or an ebook download. And you do need event tracking code implementation to be set up on your website if you want to use event tracking goals. And the final category of goals that we have for advertisers is user engagement goals. Engagement could be anything from ranging from the content that the users view on the website or the time that they spend on your site. And we essentially have 2 major categories of goals that we have under user engagement. The first is a pages per visit goal, which is triggered when a user views or more of your pages than the threshold that you have specified. And the second is a time on site goal, which is essentially how much time does a user spend? Is it more or less than the threshold that you've specified? So yeah, those are all the kinds of goals that we have for advertisers to track in analytics. And let's learn how to set them up now. If you do have an analytics page, you can do the setup with me as we go along. So you first sign into your Google Analytics page. Select the admin tab, navigate to the desired account, property, and view level. In the view column, click the goals option here. Click plus new goal. Now, there are a few templates that have been predefined, and if your business falls under any one of these categories, you could probably choose these. For now, we'll just go with custom goal creation and click on the next step. Name this goal. In this case, we'll just call it a purchase. And you select the type here, which is a destination goal. And you click on the next step. Now you have to enter the field URL. Now just if your complete URL is xyz.com/orderconfirmation.html, you only need to enter orderconfirmation.html here. So make sure that the URI corresponds to a page that the user sees after completing a conversion activity like the thank you page. So let's enter order confirmation.html here. Now here you have certain match types which you can choose from. I'll just quickly run you over what each of these mean. Now the begins with match type indicates that the page URI must begin with what you specify as the goal URI. So if you specify /thank you as your goal, any page URI that begins with /thank you will count as a conversion. Now the begins with option provides a lot of flexibility to you to track most destination goals. The next one here is the equals to option, which means that the URI of the page visited must exactly match the URI that is specified. Now, so unlike begins with, the equals to match type only matches with one single URI. The third option here, that is the regular expression match type, gives you the most flexibility but requires you to have expertise on certain regular expressions. With this, you can count different pages, all with different URIs, as a single goal. And to learn more about this, you can check out the resources on the Google Analytics Help Center. Now, let's just keep it as begins with. Now, the goal value field here basically helps you define a monetary value for the goal, and it lets Google Analytics assign, a revenue figure to the goal completion. And you need to analyze what exactly is your business trying to achieve through that goal. So if you are generating sales leads and say, for example, on an average, your sales team closes about 10% of those leads and each transaction is worth, say, $500, then the value that you will enter here would be 10% of 500, that is $50. So let's just leave it, let's just keep it off for the time being. And let's just move on to the funnel option here. The funnel option here basically allows you to define and check where the users are entering and exiting the defined process. A funnel is set up. A funnel is a set of steps that users follow to reach the final order confirmation page. A good example is a sales checkout process. To complete the transaction, a user must add items to a cart, enter shipping information, and submit certain payment details. And you can add multiple steps here. Defining a funnel is valuable as it allows you to see where users enter and exit your defined process. Using the goal flow report, you can identify where users might be having issues with the important step. For example, if you notice that several users drop off at the payments page, you can redesign the page to make it a lot more simpler. So another part of the goal setup process here is verify this goal. Now, the verification tool is a simple tool that allows you to quickly test your goal settings. You just click this verify this goal link, and Google Analytics will give you an expected conversion rate for this goal based on your settings of the last 7 days. If the conversion rate seems too high or too low, you might want to just check your settings. So you can create this goal, and that's done. The goal setup process is complete. And now to learn how to track these goal conversions in AdWords, I'll hand over the reins to Tanaima.
Thanks, Nitava. I hope you were able to set up a goal in analytics. If you have a goal in analytics, it only makes sense to import these to your AdWords accounts so that you can also track your conversions in AdWords and see how they're performing with respect to the goals. So let's get started. There are four very simple ways of doing this. The first thing that we need to do is link our AdWords account to our analytics account. Let's start. Let's go to the admin page. Here we link the account that we want. Here we click the account that we want to link. the property that we want to link, and click on AdWords linking. Select the AdWords account that you want to link and continue. Here, give any group title that you want. I will say test 1, and the view that you want to link these accounts to, and link. That's fine. I don't know why it's not saving, but that's okay. The next thing that we want to do is enable data sharing with other Google products. And this is because we need to allow AdWords to access our analytics data. So the way to do this is we go to Settings. And here under Data Sharing Settings, just make sure that with other Google products only is checked. And then we save. Perfect. The next thing we have to do is ensure that auto tagging is switched on. Now, auto tagging is what gives analytics detailed information about your visit from AdWords. And so it is very imperative that we do switch this on. So to check this, we need to go to our AdWords account. Go to the gear setting and click on account settings. Make sure that you're on the preference page. Under tracking here that you see, here it says auto tagging yes. If this says no for you, just say edit and make sure that this box is checked. And save changes. The next thing and finally what we need to do is import these goals as conversions in our AdWords accounts. So we just go to Tools, Conversions, and this should usually be enabled for you. Just click on this and you will then be able to import your goals from analytics. And that's it. Now your Google Analytics goals will register in your AdWords accounts. There are just two things that you want to keep in mind. One is that AdWords imports data only when you click on import. So your data, so a lot of your historical data will not be seen. And second is that there's a 48-hour delay. So if you're not seeing any data for about 48 hours, don't panic. You've done everything all right. Nithiba, do you want to take us through e-commerce conversion tracking?
Definitely, Tanaima. So now that we've learned how destination goals work, what about e-commerce transactions? If you are running a website that sells products online, you would know that all transactions are not equal. The value of some conversions are way more than the value of the other conversions. So tracking the value of each conversion is more important than simply counting the number of conversions. This is where exactly e-commerce transactions and e-commerce tracking comes in analytics. And with e-commerce tracking, you can find out details such as the quantity of products that were bought, what products were bought, and you can also find out the revenue generated by each of them, as well as the number of times the user visited your page before actually making the purchase. So let's quickly learn how to set this up in the analytics account. The first step is to go to the admin tab again, select your desired account, property, and view level. And now just select the e-commerce settings option here. Just click this toggle on and click on the next step. You have an option here to enable enhanced e-commerce settings, but we'll just leave that as off for the time being. And just submit. It's that simple. The second step after you've enabled e-commerce tracking in analytics is to first have an analytics code placed on the web page that you want to enable e-commerce tracking for. And after that, you also will have to add an e-commerce tracking code to that particular web page. So you might want to just get in touch with your web developer to do that for you. And details can be found in the Analytics Help Center for you to make this process a lot more simpler for you guys. Now, now that we've learned exactly what e-commerce tracking does and how goals and destination goals work, it is essential to understand the difference between the two. Now, a goal conversion can only be counted once during a day, but an e-commerce transaction can be counted multiple times during a particular visit. So let's say an ebook download counts as a goal for you, and the download is worth $5. Now, in one session, if a particular person downloads the ebook twice, it will be counted as a single goal completion worth $5 in goal conversion tracking. However, in e-commerce, it will count as two different transactions worth a revenue of $10. So you understand how this can help you distinguish between individual transactions. And the final point that I would like to bring to your notice is that you should not enable value tracking for e-commerce, non-e-commerce transactions, essentially, because if you do, then you will be counting the revenue twice. So if you have e-commerce tracking as well as goal value tracking in the goal settings, you will be counting the whole transaction twice in your revenue, and you might be getting inflated figures. So you just might work with one at a time. So yeah, that's it from my end, and I hope this has been useful for you. And over to you, Tanaima.
Thanks, Nithiba. Thank you all for joining us. I hope this was helpful. Please leave your questions if you have any, and we will always get back to them. And please join us for the next session on remarketing. And until then, have a good day and a good one. See ya.